the Royal Gala is where they get to really take the stage. Giant glittering costumes with the big trains and mantles. It's not just beautiful to look at, it is super fun.
Thousands of beads, cups, doubloons, and fun items. This is where you're going to kind of catch a very eclectic mix of items and souvenirs. Thanks for joining us on Louisiana's Playground Podcast, your roadmap to all things Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm Brady Raynard.
And I'm Jillian Corder. We're excited to bring you the authentic stories and experiences of Southwest Louisiana with all the tools you need to build your own personal Lake Charles itinerary.
Bust out the air horn. It's another special episode.
Bah, bah, bah.
Bah, bah, bah. Detailing all you can experience at Southwest Louisiana Mardi Gras for the 2024 season. We just keep coming back better than ever. And this Mardi Gras season is always so much fun. We're giving you just kind of a short heads up. Use this as a primer going into the weekend.
Sure.
Or maybe as a last ditch. Hey, should we go? Yeah, you should. Come on over. Enjoy yourself. We want this to kind of be a little primer to know what to expect at each event and maybe how to best plan your day around it.
You can customize your itinerary by knowing everything that we have to offer, and man, do we have a lot.
And the weekend starts a couple days early. Thursday, February 8th, Mardi Gras Lighted Boat Parade. They do it right here on Lake Charles, downtown Lake Charles. Starts about 7 o'clock on Lakeshore Drive. And here in Lake Charles, Mardi Gras isn't just confined to the streets.
That's right. Of course, when you're situated so perfectly on Lake Charles, then take advantage of it, right? Everyone's got their boats decked out with Mardi Gras decorations and lights. This is a cool way to kick off the Mardi Gras week. Look, we're aware Mardi Gras means Fat Tuesday, but we don't, condense it all to one day. No way.
Too many things going on. So it's really that perfect day to try that downtown restaurant that you wanted, maybe that king cake cheesecake that someone has or some beautiful Mardi Gras cheesecake or something, and then enjoy the lights of the boat parade. Really is a really cool night, and it's something that the kids will enjoy, you'll enjoy as well, and it really is the perfect start to the entire weekend.
And super unique to Southwest Louisiana for sure. So the next day, Friday, we're talking February 9th, we've got the Mardi Gras Merchants Parade at 7 o'clock rolling through Lake Charles.
Visually, maybe our most iconic because it is at night.
Sure.
And it's the lights and everything that kind of goes with it. And it's one of those parades that I think stick with a lot of people.
For sure. And so this parade, a glowing night parade, if you will, is made up of local businesses and social organizations too. So it's not just the crews that are parading through the area. This is your businesses too that all have their floats that are customized and decked out again in lights. And of course, once the sun goes down, it creates a whole new experience for everyone.
It's a vibe, as they say, right?
It's a vibe.
And it's really cool. The route is great. Starts at the event center and then goes all the way down Ryan, all the way to Sell. So plenty of great access points to be able to check out the Merchants Parade, and definitely a great parade to go on Friday to get you into the event-packed Saturday.
That's right. So the Mardi Gras Stroll for kids. It's the Children's Mardi Gras Stroll at 10:30 Saturday morning in Lake Charles at 3rd Street and 1st Avenue. So this is a really cute, in the median, there's a little walking path. And this is a 4-block stroll, if you will, from Cougar Stadium down 1st Avenue. And kids are obviously encouraged to wear their Mardi Gras gear. So festive clothing, anything you've got, purple, green, and gold, sequins.
Those decorative umbrellas that you see, that's really iconic
for
with
sure.
Mardi Gras.
It's essentially a second line down the street.
And it's great. If it's one of those last second things too, in terms of you can go. Registration, they say, will start about 10 a.m. There's no fee to enter. So if you have kids that want to get out there and just want to have some fun and explore Mardi Gras in a new way, it's a great place. There's no throws, so it is just a walking parade for them. It's debuted a couple of years ago, and it's really designed for ages about 3 to 12. So if you have some kiddos right in that wheelhouse, bring them down and let them be a part of the Mardi Gras experience.
And then after that, from 1 to about 1:30, is the Crew of Barkus Parade. This is one of my favorite events.
It's a
every
staple
year.
here.
It is incredible. This is costumed pets, but this isn't just pets wearing some cute t-shirt. People go above and beyond on these costumes and wagons to pull their pets along. I mean, Best in Show every year is remarkable.
And not to name drop, but we've got a friend, Laura, who dresses her little dog up in some crazy outfits. It was a newscaster a year ago to honor one of our kind of local legends
That's
that
right.
we've had here. It was Baby Yoda, Grogu, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
one year. And so who knows what Sassy is the dog's name is going to be next.
You never know, but you got to watch out for Sassy because when she's not first, she's maybe second place. I mean,
Yeah.
every single year. Like Laura and Sassy are the people to beat.
Yes, that's 1 to 130, and find out who will be the mystical dog. That's who is given the best costume and the best presentation. So it always is a lot of fun. My favorite event that day, because of course, once you hear it, you'll immediately know why.
Has to do with food.
The world famous Cajun Extravaganza Gumbo Cook-Off. Teams start cooking early in the morning. It's a ticket event from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Lake Charles Event Center. You've got everything from amateurs to professional chefs that are stirring up hundreds of gallons of delicious gumbo. There's award-winning food there. You've got great music and just the spirit of Mardi Gras. Last year, I talked to a few people that were not from the area, and they were just blown away with how much fun and energy is just in a little quick event like that, right? Where they're just cooking gumbo, and yet everyone's having a good time. People that travel across the country with an RV said, we circled this as something we had to be at. And he said, we're blown away. Like, he said, we're going to pop. We've eaten so much gumbo this morning.
Yes. And what's so cool is everybody's got their own way to cook gumbo, their own special family traditional recipe. And so you get a taste of a little bit of everything.
And they're
there.
all wildly different. That's what I
Yes.
think is so great about gumbo. Everyone uses the same ingredients and none taste the same.
That's right. So you've got everything there, though, too. You've got your regular chicken and sausage, what I consider like standard chicken and sausage gumbo,
Yep.
seafood gumbo, even wild game if you're feeling a little adventurous.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. It really is, and definitely one of the best traditions that we have here in Lake Charles, something that has really grown throughout the years and is a must-go to. The day wraps up early. It's an early Saturday. Crew of Omega Parade, and they start at 2 o'clock in downtown Lake Charles as they kind of go to more North Lake Charles down Broad. We have an entire episode dedicated to the Crew of Omega. In fact, it was our most recent episode number 36, Mr. Leo Colquitt with the Crew of Omega, gracious enough to sit and talk all about the experience of what they got to kind of do and then what to expect at the parade. I think you need to listen to it, especially if you're interested in going, so you really can maximize your time there at the parade.
That's right. And this parade, Crew of Omega, it's all about family and down home traditions as well. So really important, really unique to this area.
Special throw in that one, they do decorative bones kind of to play with the theme of their fraternity. And so Leo told us there's probably only about 30 or so that gets tossed out. So it's a must get if you're able to get there. That's what you need to keep your eye out on.
That's the special take home from that parade for sure. So rolling into Sunday, this is February 11th.
Sunday fun day.
This is a day dedicated to kids. So Mardi Gras Children's Day.
We think about the children.
It's all
here.
about the children.
Yeah.
For the children.
For the children.
Mardi Gras Children's Day, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. over at the Lake Charles Event Center. This is all prior to the parade, so it's an entire day just dedicated to kids. It's got different exhibits, which is really cool too. So they've got people from performing arts, technology and science, safety and health, arts and crafts, everything there, and it's really hands-on. Fun day for the kids.
And speaking of kids, we'll have to plan and take our kids. We're obviously excited about seeing them, and Philip had a great time last year.
He did.
At the children's parade, the little bit that he could kind of take in. He was still young, and so now a little bit older, I think he's going to be really interested in kind of seeing that. So that's a cool experience now as you know, you and I being parents, getting to that stage to where he's starting to want to take in those sensory activities.
He's fun now.
And I'm excited to see him being able to interact across the board with the floats and the parades and then all the activities beforehand as well.
Yes. So our kid, Philip, he's 2.5. Our kid, Philip. And he's 2.5. Little sister, Catherine, is 1. So this is actually, this will be their second Children's Day together. They went last year, only Catherine was about a month and a half old. She wasn't as fun or engaged, let's say, as she will be this year. So it's going to be really fun to see them having a great time. So again, Children's Day starts at the event center at 10 o'clock in the morning. They've got educational stations. You can make Mardi Gras arts and crafts, learn about all the traditions and history of the carnival season, and get some free goodies on your way out the door for sure.
And then the Children's Day Parade is at 1 o'clock. It's one of the longest parades that we have and one of the most well-attended. And the best part is that the kids are also a part of the parade. And so you really see the enthusiasm and the energy. And as we spoke on the other episodes of the podcast, the magic of Mardi Gras. I think you see it through their eyes more so than any other really parade and event that we have. Seeing them go and throwing stuff off the parade.
Yeah.
It's magical. It's a special moment. And seeing them, it's so awesome. They line up downtown and they'll head down Ryan Street. And so a lot of great places to see it as well. And one note, when planning all this event, it is Super Bowl Sunday. And so they wanted to make sure that it's over and done and you're back home on the couch or at the sports bar or wherever you're going to watch the big game. You'll have plenty of time to get there after taking in the festivities.
Yeah, dedicate your morning to the kids, and then you get to have all evening for the Super Bowl.
For Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and
etc.
And whatever the 49ers are doing.
They may show Mahomes every once in a while, Purdy, etc. Okay, so Mardi Gras, Monday, February 12th, Lundi Gras, if you will.
Lundi Gras.
We've got a Mardi Gras Royal Gala at 7 o'clock at the Event Center. This is one of those, again, we said magical already, but this is one of those events that truly is. It's the glamour of Mardi Gras.
The big Cinderella moment happens on Lundi Gras.
Yeah, so at all of the different crews get to unveil their new royalty at their individual balls that they have during the season. And so the Royal Gala, is where they get to really take the stage. They're in the giant glittering costumes with the big trains and mantles, and they get to walk. Thousands attend this event to see all of these kings and queens and dukes and duchesses and everybody that's there. And it's not just beautiful to look at. It is super fun.
Yeah, and you can tell that it's fun for them as well, which is obviously always really important. There are door prizes, so you do get a chance to win some cool swag while you're there. We also have a video on our Visit Lake Charles YouTube page where Catherine Shea Duncan, our social media manager, for lack of a better term, she takes us through the experience of the Mardi Gras season, one of which is the Royal Gala. We talked to Misty through one of the crews last year. And so it's a cool little interview and segment. Check it out on Visit Lake Charles to kind of get a visual representation of a lot of what we're talking about here today. And that's a great segment to be able to see, so you can really see the outlandish costumes, because they just one-up each other each year. And so this year I'm excited to see what it's going to look like.
And let's just talk about the costumes for just a second.
Sure.
These costumes are started on truly at least a year in advance.
Oh, absolutely.
They find out themes and get things taken care of and start working on these gorgeous costumes. One of the best costume makers in this entire area, she does Mardi Gras costumes for the entire state into Mississippi, I'm pretty sure, is Deval Designs. She is incredible. She's right here in Southwest Louisiana, though, and you're going to see a lot of her artwork on display at the Royal Gala.
And those big mantles, some of which are north of 25 pounds.
They're heavy.
Sitting on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Some of them they've talked to, they're like, oh, this was great. We had talked to one of them last year, and she said, our guy did so well. They're not even that heavy. They're only 12 pounds.
Only 12 pounds.
Only 12 pounds sitting on your shoulder. It's a toddler sitting on your shoulders, right?
For a really long time.
As you parade around the entire event center.
That's right. That's right. But they're absolutely gorgeous.
Awesome. It is such a cool experience.
It really is. It really is. So, okay. The big day.
The big day. Fat Tuesday, if you will.
Tuesday, February 13th. It all kicks off in Iowa with an old school traditional Mardi Gras celebration.
Corrida de Mardi Gras.
That is the Iowa Chicken Run. You get to catch a chicken.
It sounds exact. If you thought, what do you mean chicken run? Is it a chicken that's running away from people? Yes, it actually is. That is, in fact, what it is. It's such a cool event. And speaking of episode 10 of our podcast last year, we kind of went into a little bit more of that. If you want more real nitty gritty info on what the kind of chicken run is, just know that it is interesting event, I think, to say the least. Like, everyone needs to go to it at one point in their life to see the real roots of what Mardi Gras was and how it was celebrated in so many communities across Louisiana. Let me give you a couple of the spark notes. So, the captain blows his whistle at participating homes for the crews to get down, and they dance for Zydeco music, which is played with accordions and scrub boards. The parade, meanwhile, also goes down west down Highway 90. It stops at local businesses, and it continues going through neighborhoods with horses following behind. The parade is in the people. The people are walking this route. If the families approve of dancing skills, they then donate ingredients for the big gumbo, and a chicken is thrown into the air. Sometimes the captain will throw multiple chickens into the air for the children to catch. So the children are trying to first catch the chickens, and they get a prize if they do.
This tradition kind of looks different in different communities all across Louisiana, but this is essentially what they're doing is gathering all the ingredients to make the big gumbo for Fat Tuesday.
Yep.
So super fun, going house to house, business to business to collect all of those ingredients. They're going to dance for their food, collect all of those ingredients, throw it into the big pot, and have a fabulous gumbo.
And that's where you kind of see them wear the outfits that almost look like human piñatas, I think is a good way to explain what they kind of look like.
Super festive. Again, old school tradition and really fun.
And then it caps off with one of the best Zydeco players in the area with putting on a concert at 5 o'clock, Restauratoire and the Zydeco Crush. They always crush it, no pun intended there. And that's how the day wraps up in Iowa. But we're just getting going in Lake Charles.
That's right. Mardi Gras block party from noon to 8 p.m., let's say, in Lake Charles. This is free, safe, family-friendly. It's a great place to watch the parade. There's covered seating there, which is always nifty in case it's needed. Hopefully it will not be. They've got a food truck court. It's on Broad Street between Ryan and Bilbo, and it's all close to traffic, so it's a really safe area to be in for sure. They've got live music, arts and craft vendors, plenty of activities for the entire family.
And it's put on by the Downtown Business Association, so all the local downtown businesses work together to make it as beneficial to people coming as they can. In addition, right next to them is Mardi Gras in the Zone. That's put on by the city starting at 11:30 and lasts until early afternoon, about 3:30. It's the 15th year of that. So it's a free, family-oriented event. They've got the games and activities all designed for the kids. There's a live DJ. They even bring, they'll bring in stuff like Bayou Games trucks. You'll see bounce houses. They'll sometimes have like laser tags, train rides, activity tent, just stuff for kids, right? And have them really enjoy the Mardi Gras season in a very safe, protected way and area, so you're not worrying about them. And it's right there by the parade route, so you're just walking from there right to where you're going to be watching all the parades, which then start at 1 o'clock.
That's right. The first parade to roll down Lake Charles is the second line stroll. This is a walking parade. Area groups really strut their Mardi Gras spirit down Ryan Street. It's not quite the same costumes you're going to see at the Royal Gala. This is a bit different. They're walking down Ryan Street, downtown Lake Charles. Really fun. They've all got Mardi Gras music going on, dancing, and handing out some really good throws. Because these throws are more so handed to people along the route, they get really cool with their Mardi Gras throws. A lot of these are handmade. Really neat things to bring home for sure.
And I think it's worth noting that this is probably what Lake Charles is known for most of all, not just this parade, but the fact we have 4 different parades that run on Mardi Gras. Because we then follow that parade with the Jeeps on parade, which it's in conjunction with the 7 Slots Society here in Lake Charles. All the Jeep owners and lovers unite, and they roll down Ryan Street, and they decorate these Jeeps into some crazy kind of concoctions, right?
Yeah. Shout out to 7 Slot Society here in Southwest Louisiana, because they always, number one, they know how to have a good time. Number 2, they're at every community kids event that you could possibly imagine.
Yep.
At Halloween, they're always set up and they decorate their Jeeps all spooky like, and always a good time. They really know how to engage in the community and have a good time, for sure.
Absolutely. Speaking of vehicles, we're not done. The Mardi Gras parade, where you see like hot rods and classics and cool motorcycles and just overall kind of like cool classic cars that really stand out. That's when they roll. They're about 30 minutes behind. So Jeep's about 2:30. Mardi Gras starts at about 3 o'clock, and you'll see a lot of the loud, cool, classic cars. You kind of know what to expect, and it's cool to see them parade in a way. They'll throw out stuff as well. And it is a really cool separation between what comes next.
The Mardi Gras Southwest Crew of Crews Parade is at 5 o'clock, starting in downtown Lake Charles. This is the culmination of Mardi Gras here in Lake Charles. It's 4 miles of parade. It's the big parade.
Yep. Thousands of beads, cups, doubloons, and fun items that they kind of toss out. I mean, I think last year I caught like a sword for Philip. Certain types of glowing beads. You can expect some like food items, like you'll see ramen sometimes. You never know you've wanted to catch ramen at a parade until you leave the parade and didn't catch ramen, and you think, man, I really wanted a pack of ramen from this parade.
Yeah.
Moon pies, other types of treats. Like, this is where you're going to kind of catch a very eclectic mix of items and souvenirs, so to speak, right? To kind of take back with you, and you're probably going to get it from this parade.
And just like the name would lead you to believe, this is in fact the Crew of Crews, meaning all of these different crews that Lake Charles has, 60 plus crews that we've got in this area. They all come together for one big parade. So they all have their own float or floats. Some of them are big. They've got multiple floats and their own themes going on. They've got their own throws. Their own DJs are on board. I mean, they go all out. This is a party in downtown Lake Charles and in down Lake Charles. And they've got bubble machines on some of them. There's always one that shoots off a confetti cannon as it goes, which is...
That's awesome.
We keep saying magical, but that is the experience for sure.
And just to make sure, too, while this one is the culmination of all the crews, Crew of Omega's parade on Saturday is the only single crew parade that we have. And so I wanted to make sure, just in case I didn't mention that during their segment. So that's kind of how it's going to set up here. And so just because it is the culmination, there's so much enthusiasm and effort. And the city of Lake Charles has really focused more so this year than ever on being as safe as possible. And I think they just keep making new upgrades. And this year they've done it even more so. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is that you're going to go and have a good time, but have a safe time, especially when you have kids. You want to make sure that they're not going to be in danger, but still having fun.
Sure.
And they're really focused on that this year. Not that they've never been, but it really seems like that they've taken another step this year.
Well, yeah, every year you advance that. You see what happens one year and you learn from things, and you
try new things.
Yeah, and you try new things, and they're just always adding more to this experience of Mardi Gras here, and it's really cool. It's really awesome to be a part of year after year. Like we said, we brought our son back in 2022 was his first Mardi Gras experience. One of the first that was big again after COVID and hurricanes and all that nonsense. So we finally got that behind us, and
fell asleep.
He fell asleep.
Loud music, giant trucks, the loudest experience ever. And dude is just passed out of my arms. I'm holding him for an hour and a half while the parade's going on.
I don't know how it happened. But, and then last year, we had him. He was only like 1.5 at the time, and we had a newborn, essentially. And the fact that we felt comfortable bringing these kids to the parades here in Lake Charles, I think really speaks volumes for what we have to offer here. And we cannot wait to get them out again. I already picked out their cute little purple, green, and gold outfits to get them out at Mardi Gras and let them have just an absolute blast for sure. And one thing I do want to say, this is just pro tip here for Mardi Gras. Wherever you're going, whatever event you plan to attend, get there a little bit early for some of these parades. Bring your lawn chair if you want to sit at any point, and claim your spot on the parade route. Super fun. And I know for sure on Tuesday, because there's all the back-to-back parades, people get their spot and they're there all day, and it's so much fun. I love the fact that these people come, park out there at 11 o'clock in the morning, and they go all day.
It's like tailgating
long.
For a football game.
It is the best kind of tailgate, the best party
Agreed.
you'll ever be invited to. Of course, you can find all of that information that we just went over and more over on our website. That's visitlakecharles.org/SWLA Mardi Gras.
And there's so much information, blogs, posts, guides, what have you, to kind of help you maximize the Mardi Gras season.
So, laissez les bon temps rouler.
Look at that. That's French. How about that?
Oui, oui.
Thanks again for listening to the podcast today. If you wouldn't mind, please follow us. Leave us a rating or a review. Let us know how velvety my voice sounds or how amazing Jillian looks today.
Oh, that's so sweet. If only this had video.
Just close your eyes and imagine.
Yeah, do that. It's probably better. Again, leave us those ratings, reviews, and follow our podcast because that, of course, helps us grow our audience to further share the unique experiences that Lake Charles in Southwest Louisiana has to offer. Go to visitlakecharles.org/podcast for all of our episodes, where to eat, and events happening this weekend. I'm Jillian Corder.
And I'm Brady Raynard. Thanks again for coming to play at Louisiana's Playground. Say it to you.